shift, base hit, neck snap, true talk, no fluff, heat rise, act up, snap tight, step clean, eyes locked, scene mean, just Jackson Guest. Feel that beat drop, chest pump, don't stop, just Jackson Guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson Guest. Just Jackson Guest. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom, 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 boom.
Mind flip, spine stiff, word cut, gift shift, talk slick, move quick, clock tick, don't blink.
Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom.
More love with backbone, more safety, full grown, more respect when it's earned, more clients return, more stacks, more flow, more peace that we grow, more health in the grind, more wealth in the mind, more cheers from the crowd, more strong women loud, more worth that you feel, more power made real. Yeah, just Jackson Guest. Here comes fire, here comes heat, no retreat, on this beat, just Jackson Guest. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom boom. Boom shakalaka boom. Boom shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom. Hey boom shakalaka boom, boom shakalaka boom, shakalaka boom, hey boom shakalaka boom.
Kick bounce, hi-hat, run, shoulders roll, sun up, baseline, waistline, heat rise, no decline. Just Jackson Guest. Boom shakalaka boom, 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 boom. More love with backbone, boom, 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 boom. When it go, when it run, don't run to the turn, more stacks, more flow, more blacks in the turn, more just don't feel more shirt. More stacks in the crowd, more strong in the loud, more worth that you feel, more power made free.
Yeah, more drive, no style, more rise, stand tall, more force, no fear, more shit this year, yeah.
Just Jackson Guest.
Boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka, boom shakalaka.
Here we go. It is Just Jackson Guest, Monday night, every 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are right here highlighting two humans that are amazing, that are important for you to meet, because every single human life is valuable, has quality to bring, has information to share with you about their life, about their passions, about all the things. And I cannot wait once again to bring new people to stage. Some of them you may know. Some of them, maybe you've never ran into them, whether through social media or in person. I can't wait to show them. But before we get started, I want you to guess, who do you think is going to be on stage first? Will it be Jocelyn? Will it be Angel? Angel, Jocelyn. I want to see if you get the guesses right or not, because totally different humans, but you're going to find out that they bring the information, right? Because I never know exactly what they're going to say. They never know exactly what they're going to say until they get on screen. So I can't wait. So I want to show Mr. William Rochelle. You can call him Bill. He is the fabulous producer of my intro. And if you stay to the end of the show, he did the outro too, which is amazing. Bill, I have to tell you, Bill knows how rough the last few weeks have been for me. Sometimes I literally just sit here because I haven't had the energy, the mood to really jump into other people's shows or to stay engaged with certain things. Sometimes I will literally just be singing the whole boom shakalaka boom thing because it gets me through and it reminds me that good things are to come again. And there's good reason that I do this show. There's good reasons that I'm here. There's good reasons that life is keeping moving, even though there's been some really rough stuff. So for those of you that watch almost every week, those of you that knew what my life experience was 4 weeks ago today, I donated my kidney to an amazing human. And he was actually on my show the week before surgery. Unfortunately, the surgery was not a success. The transplant seemed like it was great for about 4 days, and then everything possible that could have went wrong, other than either of us dying. So we're thankful we're still here. it's been tough. It's been a real tough journey with this. It's been tough trying to figure out what this means, all the different things. And we spent time together on Friday, and we actually saw each other at the doctor's office on Wednesday last week. Then we saw each other on Friday. He's looking so good, so strong, so, ready to get on with this next other stage of getting healthier. And life hit him again on Saturday. I don't want to share too much of his journey, but he and I both have shared that we can share it with everybody. He was at dialysis, and the place where they removed the kidney from has what they call some kind of an artery clamp, and it erupted on him while he's sitting in the dialysis chair on Saturday. Thankfully, his dialysis location was literally in the same kind of parking lot as the hospital, and he was rushed into emergency surgery. And thankfully, he is still here with us. But this man has had 4 intense surgeries in about 3.5 weeks. And if you struggle with health issues, you have a family member with health issues, you understand just how intense it can be. We got to take care of ourselves, guys. I mean, Kevin was doing everything by the book, all the right medications, all the right doctor visits, all the things, and life happened. And then there's some of us that kind of take advantage of our health. We don't maybe even think about how life is going to change for us if our health changes. So this is your reminder to take care of you, okay? Take care of you, get those doctor's appointments in if you need mental health therapy, if you need to figure out who you're surrounding yourself with, if you need to figure out if your work environment is safe and healthy for you, if you need to figure out if the relationship you're in is difficult and causing you extra stress. That stress in our brain actually can impact our body. And our body not being healthy can impact our brain and our mood. And I want you guys as safe and healthy as you can be, not just because so many of you show up to the show over and over and over. And I appreciate you guys, like David Causey, always in the front row, and Kenny Dunner inviting his million friends. I care about this thing called humans. It's something that we don't get to do enough of, is really helping each other. And so if all we can do is just say, you deserve to be healthy, maybe that'll get somebody to just think differently. If you're struggling with substance use, if you're struggling with a diagnosis, if you're struggling with getting out of bed some days, because I've been feeling that myself, if you're struggling with figuring out how to possibly start managing your weight or your blood sugar, or your heart, blood pressures too, there are people out there that could possibly help you. So I want to encourage you to take care of you and find people that want to listen and want to support you. Like last week, no, two weeks ago, we had a guest on, and actually we had 2 guests. One was a counselor, and then one was Zanetta, who is all over the place, military and all the things, but she wrote a book. And if you are new to Just Jackson Guest, you might not realize this, but a lot of times freebies are dropped during the show. Zanetta actually said if anybody was in her home area watching the show and they got in on this ticket drawing, that they may win a ticket to her book signing. Guess who won? And it wasn't even rigged. I got to get her book. Signed, and I got to listen to her read one of her chapters while she was on stage at this beautiful ceremony for her. And it just kind of made me happy, because being around people right now is kind of intense for me, which is so weird because I love people and I love being social, but this whole lifestyle journey has been interesting. You never know who you're supposed to connect with. So I want to see, are you thinking it's going to be Jocelyn or Angel? Because you never know if one of these 2 people coming on stage tonight you're meant to listen to. Are they going to open up something that you are thinking of something in a different way because of this? Are you somebody that is going to want to invite them to your stage? Are they somebody that you're going to learn from? Maybe that you've met them before. There's so many cool things. So let's see. Trying to see if anybody has said who they think is coming first. Let's see. Guy, oh my gosh, we got India in the house. We have got a couple people's names that I have not seen in the show before, guys. And sometimes if you do a show, just because they don't put a comment in, or just because StreamYard doesn't show you they put in a comment, does not mean people are not watching your show. I love this so much. Jairus, thank you for being here. Kimberly, thank you for being here. Meryl, always so good to see you. Leslie Flowers is here. My Nick is here. Check out her upcoming lineup of some of her books she's got coming out. You just don't want to miss them. Rob, thank you for being here. Going to have you on stage before long. Lisa from Trinidad. Oh, I love it. Guys, there's so many great people here. I want to get on with who's coming on stage. I see Kimberly and Christy are voting for Angel. Well, I'm about ready to bring the first guest up. Are you ready to see? Do you think Kimberly and Christy are right? Do you think Angel's going to be our first guest? Or do you think Jocelyn's going to be our first guest? I'm ready to bring the first guest up, and I am so excited to be able to introduce you to my friend, somebody that has watched the show considerably and has actually talked about a couple other people that she's been kind of really focusing on with events. Oh, I just said she, so now you know. Doggone it, here she comes. Yay! I outed you, Jocelyn.
Hi, how are you?
Being the first one on stage tonight. Great to see you.
Thank you, Jackie, for having me.
You are so welcome. I am loving the colors you got tonight. As you can tell, I'm more of a black and white person. I tend to wear a lot of black, and sometimes there's white throw in. And I just am loving the color pop on you tonight. Thank you for being here. Oh my gosh. So tell us, where are you sitting right now? What state are you in, if you don't mind sharing that?
Sure. Southern Nevada by the fabulous Las Vegas.
Ooh. So are you guys 2 hours or 3 hours? Is it 6 o'clock or 7 for you right now?
Yes.
Okay. I love it when I just assume everybody is from my time zone. Everybody's from my local area, and it's not. We get people from all over. And Jocelyn, I want people to get to know you a little bit more. So I'm going to ask you the same 3 questions I ask every single guest the first time they're on here. And then we're going to have people get to know you a little bit more in the way you want people to know you. So first question. You have a business. You have some title stuff behind your name, all the good stuff. Tell us 2 things. Don't say your family, okay? That you are proud of, that you have accomplished, that you've done in your life, that you are wanting to share a pat on the back at a girl because you deserve it.
Oh, thank you. So when I was thinking about this question, it was actually recently something that happened to me in May of this year. And I was surprised by the Nevada Hispanic Business Group. It's a small local group supporting Hispanic businesses in Southern Nevada. They presented me with an award celebrating Small Business Week, celebrating the successes. And I was almost astounded because I have been in business less than a year and really focused since February. And they took upon themselves, and I think one of the assembly folks from Nevada State Assembly presented it, and also at a business fair on May 6th, and also at a luncheon, in May. So I was excited. I was shocked. I'm still shocked.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So tell us something else.
This one is really, there's one of my first clients that believed in JH Consultant. It was a daycare, Kids R Us Academy. And she called me last week saying that she is a nominee for the Top Tech Award based on the consulting we did together. She opened up her nonprofit called Healthy Kids of Nevada, and did an app, Kids Lift app, to help kids with mental health, also healthy lives, and something that they can turn to. So I'm very excited. So that's 2 things that I was a part of, and I'm still pinching myself because I love to see everyone succeed, and we all succeed together.
I love that so much. That is such a powerful statement, though, because seriously, it is so much easier to succeed when you've got people around you. And sometimes they will lift you up without you even expecting them to do that. And that is what community is all about. I love you sharing that. So again, you have all the business stuff. You've got all these really cool things going on. You've been recognized by the group there. That's so cool. But we have to keep growing. We have to keep learning. We have to keep, getting that brain educated and maybe take care of some stuff that maybe we hadn't learned before. Is there something you're willing to share for everybody that you're working on yourself or still growing in?
Yes, there's 2 things. One, HR technology. I have recently partnered with a company called Humad, which is kind of like if you think of other companies and their human resource systems, I'm learning about their AR technology. I'm learning about how they can streamline human resources because I worked in HR for 30 years. So I'm very excited to make things easier for HR professionals versus processes that are not as interesting. And so I'm really interested in that. I'm taking some AI classes to really learn and really out of my comfort zone because I found that you can do the HR strategy, which I love and do, in organizational development. But when you partner with technology, that's really pushing, I would say, my growth as of now.
That is amazing. I was reading that on your profile and I'm just like, ooh, that is a whole different way to kind of look and to elevate ourselves. And if you're not learning it, you're going to be left behind, of course. But to say that I am going to do this, even if it's out of my comfort zone, your brain likes that. You know, our internal, like that fight or flight stuff, doesn't always like the out of the box, but our brain loves it. Like, yes, girl, you can do this. We are going to do it. We're going to learn all the cool stuff. I love that so much for you. So
Thank you.
now the fun question. Well, I think the other two are fun too, but everybody tells me the last one's the funnest question. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now with somebody, without somebody, where would you go?
I would go to Greece.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I just love the neighborhoods, the crystal clear water, the towns next to the ocean. That's one thing I would love to. And then, of course, Mamma Mia. It's a great movie. Would love to kind of see it in person versus on, a movie.
oh, I love that. That would be amazing. Now, if you went to Greece, would you go to any of the neighboring countries or are you going to just spend all that time in Greece?
I would say I would go to Greece and then I would go to Italy if it's doable. So that's the two places I would go to.
That is so cool. I love that you shared that, and I hope you get there. I can't wait to hear all about it. I would love to get a couple places in Europe next year if it works out, if everything aligns, but I really wanted to get there this year, and it's just not going to happen. So if you beat me there, make sure to tell me all about it, okay?
I will.
Thank you so much. So, Jocelyn, you've been watching the show for a while now, and you've been such a great supporter. We've had you on the books for a while to come onto the stage, but I've never got to hear you present because I know you jumped on a show or two before when it was open mic, and I just wasn't there for it. So, I am so excited to hear you and to share with the guests that are here, people watching on replay, a little bit about who you are. Let's talk about this JH Consulting. Let's talk about some of the things that just light you up and get you excited. Are you okay if I turn over the mic to you, my friend?
For sure.
Yeah.
So for JH Consultant, it's a funny story. I was with a business coach, Aaron, and him and I were coaching back and forth. He was helping me through a pivoting career pivot last year. And he asked me, so what's your plan A or B if plan A doesn't work? And so I laughed and said, well, my plan B, I will become a teacher and open up my own consulting business. And he looked at me very seriously and he said, well, why not? And I then said, I just smiled and said, maybe. And a couple weeks after that conversation, I actually decided to, pursue seriously my doctoral in education and also open up JH Consulting right then and there. And so I got my business license and then took a client, which was my first client, Kids R Us Academy, and consulted with them for a couple months and thought I can really actually do this. And what I bring to the table and what I enjoy is the business strategy, seeing companies succeed, really flourish. I worked in multiple industries. I've worked in hospitality, manufacturing, nonprofit, and retail. And I've enjoyed the diversity of businesses I've supported in my career. And so now, as a consultant, I love to work with different businesses, whether it's in construction, if it's landscaping, if it's education. I get to bring in the strategy, understand their HR processes, and sometimes those become not only coaching conversations about the business, but also about the business leaders. So I do some conversations and executive coaching on career pivots, pivoting themselves as leaders, and those are the things I do enjoy. And the biggest thing for me is now is learning the modernization of human resources and technology and working with Umad as a business partner to businesses, not only bringing them human resource strategy, but aligning that with modern technology. Those are the things that I would say are my out of my comfort zone, but within my comfort zone as we're looking at companies and evolving them so they can, work on employee engagement, work on maximizing and streamlining all their processes. In previous companies I've worked with, I could have almost worked with 9 to 10 different operating systems. And now I work with one single platform. So those are the things I get excited about.
So cool. I love it when, and this is just a thing for me, but I love it when I hear women talk about wanting to work in construction at all, consulting and working with people in the field. It just, your diversity in the different workplaces that you will work with in the business kind of sectors. I think that's so cool because some people are just one lane. I'm only going to focus on people in these businesses. So you shared that there's a handful that you actually like doing. I love that so much.
Yes, I found that in the even in the Las Vegas Valley, there's a diversity of different businesses, whether it's construction, tech, um, education, like the preschool I was talking about, healthcare, small healthcare facilities that need human resources. And what our company offers is bringing in an HR person to help them streamline without having to hire a full HR team. And so one of the things, we focus on is either projects that they might need, or also somebody to come in and do some strategy because they're wanting to upscale and also move their business in a growth sector, or maybe hold steady and look at how they can capture, the business today with the people, and also, with the technology associated with that. So those are the things that I've been focusing on. And, one of the other things I'm very uncomfortable for me is speaking. I am working on speaking engagements. I've been on the JQ60 with Joe Billy, in May as well. On stage in 60 seconds, I had to talk about joy and what's joyful to me. And one of the stories I shared was the story of an immigrant woman who actually made a purse, and she made it out of bottle caps and yarn. And I brought it on stage with me because it represents mobility. It doesn't matter where someone comes from or what economic, if they have the passion and the gumption, they will make their dreams come true. And I really am, I champion that with not only our local community, but all communities within the Las Vegas market.
Is so cool. I mean, you didn't have to bring that on stage and you understood what that meant. And it probably felt pretty good bringing something so important on there with you. I love how, like, preschool and technology and all these things, so many people, I keep saying this, but so many people stay in their lane. They don't know they can pivot. They don't know that they can switch out. They can do another job. And when we are willing to try something new, it gets our brain excited. Whether or not it's meant to be or whether we're going to stick with it is a whole different topic, but it's just the idea that you're not feeling that fear. I remember so many people when I was younger that just would literally say how much they absolutely could not stand their job. I'm going to die doing the same job. I can't believe, I've been doing this so long. I'll never get hired somewhere else. And those mantras, I grew up thinking that you had to pick one place and stay with it forever. And I'm so thankful that people aren't as focused with that anymore, I don't think. But having somebody that has your skills, having somebody that sees the different career paths for different people, I mean, it has to be exciting and rewarding, but also kind of frustrating sometimes when people don't have that background or the willingness to pivot, I'm sure too. Rob asked, how long did it take to gain traction for you with your business?
Well, Rob, I am still on my journey, I think, because as far as, for traction for Umad, that's a recent partnership I assumed in the spring. So I am very fresh, new into that. As far as the clients, my clients have been pivoting career clients. I had one that was a news reporter and went into substitute teaching. And so, yes, and she in turn helped me with my public speaking skills as well. So it's different. I think if the client's willing to change or willing to listen, I think that's when for me, I get very excited. I was telling one client, I'm going to be very passionate about your project, what you're all about, your company, or your career pivot, we need to be excited together. And once we're excited together, sky's the limit. I think it's really being there and seeing the change in people. So I'm still going through the traction, especially with the HR technology. I think that's I foresee that in 6 months I will be speaking very intelligently about that.
I love that. I think that might need to be your new tagline. Let's get excited together. I love when you just said that because the job search is not pleasant for a lot of people. And pivoting is even scarier, if they feel like, wow, I'm competing against all these people that have been in this field, or they may know more than me, or what if I'm going to be too slow to adapt? But when you have that excitement, especially, you watch Leslie Flowers in action, and she talks about, you putting that energy out there and you focusing on that one thing that speaks to you, that energy flows back. And I think that's so amazing. If you don't know Mr. Felipe Cofino, he is just talking about, you two are just kindred spirits, because he is HR and he has had that hospitality background as well. And it is such a cool vibe when you see people that can bring those two different elements together. You can think about these things, but yet you have this in your past and stuff. So where do you want to take your consulting business, or what do you think about, like, some ideal clients might be, because they may be listening right now and they may just not realize they need you right now.
Well, I do one-on-ones with folks that are pivoting. It seems that I have a lot of pivoting conversations, and I'm really good at aligning them to their next chapter. And secondly, it's really mid-sized companies between 50 to 70 employees for Human Technology. Just to give you an example, companies like Home Depot have UMAT as a system. So I think the next 6 to 8 months, I see myself bringing on multiple clients for Human, and also pivoting, folks that are pivoting in their careers.
Oh, pivot is such a good word. That sounds way better than changing, because change sometimes brings that instant fear, even good change. Oh, I'm moving to a great new location, or hey, I'm getting a promotion, but change can be tough. And I just wanted to shout this comment out, that I believe that you are speaking very eloquently. You said
Thank
it,
you.
you're not comfortable, and Kimberly said it as well. So I just wanted to make sure that you saw that, because you deserve,
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah.
And lastly, I am also working on something called Books on the Shelf, where it's a leadership growth mindset event. And I do local events where people can bring a book that's on their shelf and share a leadership lesson. And we do that in groups of 3 to 10, small communities. So I've had about five, and one internationally. So small one, but we did one this past June in Puerto Rico. So I'm proud of that too. And it's just something small, and I believe in learning, and I believe people in community learn better together, and sharing those leadership lessons together in community help each other elevate.
I love that. Puerto Rico just happens to be one of my favorite places to go to. That's amazing. I have a couple leadership books. I don't know if I got them right by me or not right now. But yeah, I'm jumping into more of the leadership. Last week we had Dr. Melissa, the empathic leader. There are so many different angles of leadership, and sometimes you read one or two books and one or two things stand out, but then you learn from another book, or you learn this other trick, because maybe in your leadership journey you do need to pivot, like you said, and try something new. So I love that so much for you. Now, you're based in Nevada, but are you able to work with people across the whole United States? Are you able to work outside, your state? How is that for you?
Yeah, no, I have worked with people across the state and also outside of the states. We have something very nice virtual technology, so I can do that. And one of the things we're doing this week is we're going to go down to Southern California to hopefully bring Books on Shelf out to Southern California. So more to come, but I'm excited. But yes, people can contact me. LinkedIn is great if they want to DM me. You can also go to my website, www.jh-consultant.com, and can reach me. But I'm always on LinkedIn and see my DMs. And if they want to reach out, we can.
She is very good with DMs, unlike somebody we know over here. This person over here, yeah, not so good with DMs. So if you reach out to her, she's going to respond rather quickly. And I appreciate that you're saying that that's an easy way to get. And I do apologize because a lot of times I will put websites up on the page. I didn't even think about it. So will you please, after the show at some time, will you make sure to put your link for your show or your website in there in case people want to check it out? If you do end up being on any speaking gigs coming up, make sure you invite me to whatever shows you're on because I want to keep learning from you as well. And I want to hear just a little bit more of Books on Shelf. Is this something that is open just to certain people that are already working with you? Is it something?
Sure. No, it's for the local community is just whoever wants to bring a book, whether you own a business or a leader or in a different profession or even a stay-home mom. You can come over and just bring a book that resonates with you. I've done them in English and also in Spanish locally, and hope to do one online so we can have a virtual, learning community. So I'm still working on the logistics of that.
Love that so much because so many times like book clubs are book clubs. You read the same book, you focus on the same book, but this is almost like a way to get like a tidbit in and get a recommendation or something. So you said you host both in English and in Spanish. So does that mean you're bilingual, my friend?
I am.
Yay. So if you know Spanish speaking companies, you got a tool right here, right in our own backyard. Reach out to them, let them know that maybe if they're not sure who they can really trust, if they are going through somebody else to do translation, check her out. Just one more thing that not enough people highlight when they have the opportunity to help businesses that have all that diversity. Because up in Michigan, like we have a very limited Spanish speaking population on my side of the state, but you go just a little bit north and there's a lot more, but there's not a lot of services. There's not a lot of business owners that are out there highlighting themselves. And so some of my friends will put posts up. I'm looking for a Latina business owner. I'm looking for somebody that is Spanish speaking business owner. And I'm like, wow, there needs to be more people that highlight themselves out there. So anything else you would like to share? Anything else you were hoping to cover tonight? So people just get excited to send you those connection requests and check out your business page. You can follow her page. I think I highlighted that on our event page. If not, you can put that into the comments as well.
No, I'm here, one, to connect with everyone. Love to learn on LinkedIn. And if you have, sharing information, it's, I think, the best way to grow together.
I think so too. And I think you've shown that tonight that, you stepped out of your comfort zone by just coming here tonight. You stepped out of your comfort zone by pivoting yourself multiple times, it sounds like, and being able to help other people because when you're in that pivot phase, sometimes you just get floundering. And with all the new stuff that you're learning, your 6-month goal, it sounds like you're just going to be rock starring it even more. So make sure you guys are connecting with Jocelyn. Check out what she has to say. And Jocelyn, you are such a beautiful joy. Use that voice. Don't feel like you have to be like, oh, I'm so nervous or that's out of my comfort zone because you rocked it tonight. You did really great. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye-bye.
Bye. So when I looked back in the comments, I think only Bill Rochelle was the one that actually picked Jocelyn to go first. Isn't it interesting? I don't usually even know who's going first until 2 minutes before the show or so. So you guys were surprised, huh? You guys were picking Angel. Is it because his name starts with an A? Because sometimes I think people do that, either who I put in a picture, what name is on the page, or if it's just that alphabetizing thing, but I never really know. Now, last week I knew because Christina did need to speak first. So she went first, which Dr. Melissa was fine with, which was super great. I love having different voices on stage because it highlights not just our diversity as humans, but it highlights different people connecting with different words. Because when I know she was in HR and she was in consulting, I didn't realize she'd be talking about books. I didn't know she was bilingual. I didn't know that she's, got this passion for things like construction and people in the tech field. Well, I kind of knew tech field because her doing the AI work, but you just never get to know somebody totally by just looking at their page. When you can hear their voice, when you can hear what they get excited and passionate about, it's pretty cool stuff. So this next person I'm going to bring up, he's got some passion too, and he's got some experience we're going to talk about. So those of you that have been around the reentry block. Sometimes you may have connected with him. You may have seen him at a conference or two. You may have, read his book or different things. But are you guys finally ready to meet my friend Angel? He's ready to come on stage. He did have a little tech volume issue earlier, so hopefully that's all taken care of. Here he comes. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Oh, I love it. So are you coming in from Dodger Stadium? Is that what I'm seeing with the whole?
No, but I am from Los Angeles. So I'm always supporting, and they're actually losing right now. So,
Oh, I'm sorry to
but
hear
you
that.
made my day better by having me here.
Oh, I love that. Well, and guess who made both of our day better by Mr. Bill Hobbs connecting us.
Yes.
So if you guys don't know, almost every single week, unless there's a major something going on, Bill Hobbs is in our audience, whether he's on LinkedIn, whether he's on YouTube, and he's always putting comments and supporting the guests that are here. And he was just like it was a couple weeks ago, a month ago or something. And he's just like, Jackie, you need to have Angel on your show. I just had him on my podcast because Bill also does a podcast. And I was so excited that he connected us. So that was super cool. So I'm going to jump into your 3 questions and then I'm going to let you do some chatting. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Angel, will you share with everybody, whether they recognize you, know you or not, will you share 2 things that you are personally proud of yourself for?
Well, I'm 22 credit hours away from earning my bachelor's degree. Yeah, and I published my first book in June.
It was just in June.
Yeah, it just came out in June.
Oh, that's amazing. I did not realize that. So I do have to apologize because June was kind of a chaotic month for me with the whole transplant thing. I try really hard if I know a guest has published a book, I try really hard to buy their book before they come on stage. With Sonetta, I wasn't able to buy hers either because it was just the wrong timing for me. But I cannot wait to check out your book. It had to have
Thank
been
you.
a pretty amazing passion writing it. I can only imagine the emotions were all over the place.
Yeah, especially because I'm very passionate about the topic that I'm discussing in the book, and I could get more into that in a little bit. But yeah, it brought up some emotions, yes. And now that I've gone to therapy, I know how to feel my emotions. So
Could you just like say that from the top of the sky? Like men deserve to feel their emotions. Men
yeah,
deserve to go to therapy. Thank
yeah,
you.
definitely.
Yeah. And women, you do too, because not all y'all go either. And we need a support system out of the people we work with, the people that are in our house, the people that are in our family units, all the things, because they don't get it the way somebody that can be detached and can really see how to help us heal in a different way. Thank you so much. So, like, seriously, not just the book, not just almost having your bachelor's degree, but just going to therapy. I am prouder than heck for you for that. So, thank you for sharing that. All right. So, I'm sorry your Dodgers aren't winning right now, but so glad you're in our space. So, even
Yeah.
though you've already been published author, and you've beat me because I've only been as a co-author in a couple anthologies. I haven't had my whole book yet. But we have to keep growing. We have to keep learning. I don't care if we're 89 or if we're 19, if we think we've had enough school, if we've had enough this, we don't always have to learn through school. We don't have to learn through a certificate program, but if you want to, that's amazing too. But what is one area that you're willing to share with everybody that you're still growing in right now, that you're working on for yourself?
So I've been reading a lot on policy and legislation because that's gonna be that's a future goal of mine. I plan on maybe 5-year plan for sure, running for House representative. Um, and yeah, but the policy work too. Policy is very important. Legislation, legislation, and policy determine where the funds and resources are allocated, and how the funding is distributed. So I think it's very important for to get into that space.
Oh my gosh, Angel, you are dropping the knowledge. Like so many of us, those of us that were into school, and even if we liked it or not, the idea of going to government class, that's what they called it when I was in high school, was like, oh my gosh, I want to yawn. This is so boring. I don't need to think about those old people talking about politics and stuff. If we could have been interested in it as kiddos, can you imagine how much different this world would be right now? love
Yeah.
that you're interested in that. Um, I have a local friend that he is in the reentry space as well. He was one of my very first guests. And now he's actually working with me, like actually in my office as an outreach worker. And he was elected in December to be on
Oh,
his local community commission. Isn't
awesome.
it amazing? I mean,
Yeah.
so cool. You would love him for sure. Very cool. Angel, I appreciate that so much. So if you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
You know what? Spain has been on my list for a long time.
Ooh,
It's
you're
followed by
gonna
Greece.
you're gonna make Felipe here happy here in Spain. That is amazing. He did a cute little video for with the FIFA winning thing, so that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you went to Spain, you would hopefully try to get Greece in there too, or would they be two totally separate trips?
Probably 2 trips because Spain has a lot to offer. I'm a big so to relax, I watch the Food Network. I don't know why. It relaxes me.
Yeah.
But I watch a lot of food shows, and they had this whole show when they were in Basque country, and the food just looked amazing. So I want to go try it.
I love that so much. And it's funny because I never had Spain, Greece, or Italy on my kind of bucket list until I started doing the show because so many people pick those three countries. And I'm just like, I used to be like, oh, they're just overpopulated. Everybody goes there. I don't want to be with a whole bunch of people. But then the more they talk about it, the more I start looking it up. And I'm like, okay, I do need to get there. I cannot
Yeah,
wait for you to get there. I hope you get to eat all the foods, everything
right.
in there. So one thing that you're already working on a 5-year goal of being an elected official, but you are already on the board of directors of the National Association of Reentry Professionals, correct?
Yes. And I've been with them actually. So a friend of mine actually told me, "Hey, there's this organization that has a little contest going. Film yourself for a 5 minute video talking about your journey of reentry." So I did so, and I submitted it. And I honestly I have forgot about it. And like 4 months later, I get an email that they selected my video, and they flew me out to Pensacola, Florida, to be the keynote speaker. And the following 2 years, I was actually the host of the conference. And then in 2025, they asked me to join the board of directors. So yeah, it's been a great journey with them.
That is so cool. So when you said you were the host of the conference 2 years in a row. Were you the host when it was in Tennessee?
No, I was not. I was the host. Actually, hold on. Yes, Franklin, Tennessee. I was the host, and then I was the host the first year in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, very cool. Because guess what?
Yeah. You were there.
We met each other.
Oh wow,
Isn't that hilarious?
wow. Yeah, it is.
Guess
That's
guess
awesome.
when guess when I remembered this? Like about an hour before the show when Bill was asking me a little bit about NARP and how much I knew the people that were on the board. I'm like, yeah, I know that Angel was a board member. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. And I went through all my pictures and I'm like, I know I took a picture with this man. And you and I have been talking now for over a month, getting you on stage and everything. And I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it. Isn't that so funny?
Wow. Hey, that. Oh, you teleported me back to Franklin, Tennessee. That's awesome.
Right. I was not able to make it to Arkansas, but I love the one in Tennessee. It was such a
Yeah.
good ride. Got to see so many amazing humans. Some of them that are no longer with us, some of them that I stay in touch with all the time, some that I haven't really been able to connect with as much afterwards. But how cool was that? That you and I
Yeah.
physically met. We took a picture together, but yet we had no idea that you were going to be a guest on.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh man, that's too funny.
It is too funny. And life is like that sometimes, Angel.
Yeah.
I swear that people come into your life at different times for different reasons. But now I
Yes.
want to turn over this talk to you. And I want you to share about whatever comes to mind, how much you want to share. Don't give your whole book away so they want to get out there and buy it for sure. But share
Yeah.
what you feel comfortable tonight, my friend.
Um, it's crazy. It just started like pouring out here. Is it too loud?
I can't hear it. No.
Okay, cool. So, like I mentioned earlier, I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and got involved in the street life very young. I didn't expect to live to 18 years old. And honestly, that's how I lived my life. I honestly didn't really care. A lot of my friends died 14, 15 years old. And I just I just didn't know a better way. So ended up in prison, did about a total of 13 years in prison. And I ended up in Albuquerque because an uncle gave me an opportunity. My uncle's a professor, and he gave me an opportunity to move to his house. So in doing so, he gave me one condition: I had to enroll in college if I was going to live in his house. And it changed my life. And it basically, a class is what opened up my eyes. I think I'm gonna have to move inside because it's really getting hectic out here.
Yeah, you don't need to be blown away on us. And you're still in Albuquerque right now, right?
Yeah, I am. um yeah, so he gave me a condition that I had to enroll in college if I was going to live in his house. So I did that. And during college I took a sociology class. And social learning theory kind of really opened up my eyes. I was like, wait a minute. So then I always used to tell people that I was a product of my environment. But through social learning theory, I learned I was a product of my choices. I always had a choice. Although limited, I still made the choice to do everything that I did. So that kind of changed my mentality and put me on a new trajectory. I got my associate's degree in electrical trades, but I've never worked a day in electricity in my life because, as you said, God will put people in your life, or the universe, like I like to call it. It will put people in your life and it will open doors. And it took me to the city of Albuquerque, and I implemented the first violence intervention program in the whole state. And I found success and working with mothers who were getting their children taken from them by gun violence. When I'd go talk to them, I didn't realize how much it was affecting me until a police officer from Albuquerque Police Department, who were our partners for that program, we'd get referrals from them and all that. This sergeant just so happened to be getting his master's degree in counseling and therapy. And he pulled me to the side one day and he's like, "Hey, Angel, like," because we actually had gone to the hospital together to go talk to a victim. Um, he did his part, and then I went in there and talked to them about getting them help after they got out of the hospital, because this is back like 2022 when fentanyl started hitting communities hard, and most of the gun violence was revolving around fentanyl here. Um, so after we were leaving the hospital, he puts his hand on my shoulder and he looks me like right in my eye and he's like, "Hey, dude, are you okay?" And at first, I didn't know how to take that. I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like,
Yeah.
I was feeling a little awkward, and he's like, "Dude, you give a lot of yourself while you're in there talking to people. You bring up your past, you talk about your pain, you talk about your trauma. Are you okay?" I go, "Yeah, dude, I'm fine." He goes, "Well, look, I'm just gonna make an observation." He goes, "Dude, like since you've had this job, you've gained probably like 80 pounds." He goes, "So you're eating your feelings away, dude." So after that, I started thinking about it, and like, yeah, he was right. When I was done talking to a mother who lost her child, it would just take me back to my neighborhood when my homeboys would get killed, or friends. And he actually recommended a therapist for me who he knew from his graduate program. And yeah, I started therapy, and it helped a lot. It helped a lot because I didn't really realize that I was still dealing with the fact of like imposter syndrome, survivor's guilt. Like, why am I still here alive and being able to do this when I have friends who can't do this? But through reading, I read a book that helped a lot too. It was called "The Soul's Divine Journey."
Mm.
and it helped, and I'm a reader. I used to read a lot in prison. I used to read. I used to like reading like philosophy. I read the Bible. I read the Quran. I read the teachings of the Buddha. I just used to like to read. I've always been a curious person, and don't laugh at me. I also read the Twilight series in there. I love them.
Love it.
Yeah, but
Were
I
you
was a
team
reader,
Jacob
so
or were you team Edward?
Edward.
Oh, see, I love me some wolves, so I had to do the wolves.
Yeah, but yeah. So basically, from there, like I found my calling. Like started working with people, helping them find resources, and I just loved it. Um, so I went from doing violence intervention. I went to medicated assisted treatment for a year. Then I was doing a federal contract for workforce development in the 7 northern counties of New Mexico, which are rural communities. And I learned a lot doing that job too, because the next wave of millionaires, I was told, in this country are going to be people in the skilled trades industry. Because out of 30 men who are retiring, there's only about 5 or 7 people replacing them. So we were gathering partners so that they could hire entry level positions for young people graduating college with their certificates, or people coming out of prison so that they could have a opportunity for good jobs for livable wages. So um, yeah, and it's just it's been a great ride. I'm 42 now, and for someone who didn't expect to make it to 18, like I just feel that I was given this opportunity, and I don't think I honestly feel, and I tell myself that I have to help as many people as I can in any way I can for the duration of my time here on Earth.
Mm.
And basically, also the book, it's called The Hood's Curriculum: Turning Lived Experience into Political Power. Basically, I talk about transferable skills, so from survival skills into community leadership skills, because we learn skills growing up in environments like that. Like me being a gang member in Los Angeles, making decisions under pressure, like de-escalating conflicts before it turns into something nobody could take back. And I was always, I joked about this at a conference one time, and I called myself a hood pharmacist. I used to be in that field as well, but just all of those skills, they're transferable. And
Yes.
also, I think we stigmatize ourselves. Sometimes we set limits on ourselves because we tell ourselves, "Oh no, we can't do that. I won't be accepted there." And trust me, I've told myself that before, but I've kind of managed to just break away from that because politics wasn't invented for me. But I'm gonna try it, whether I succeed or I fail. I've come to realize one thing. Yes, organizing, being activists in the community, doing public comment and all that, um, it's helpful and it's necessary. But the real power lies with the people sitting in those seats. And a mentor of mine once told me, if you're not sitting at the table, then you're on the menu. And that really stuck with me. So, I'm tired of being an entree. I want to be the one ordering the food now. So, and being able to allocate funds to the proper programs who are actually doing the community work, you know, that would be very impactful for communities.
Oh my gosh. Angel, that's so powerful. Like everything you've said is so powerful. And I, your lived experience is something that so many of us can be in awe of. We can be shocked about it. We can be so blessed and thankful that you're still here. But every time you have to talk about it again, I can only imagine it does take you back to that space. And that's one of the things that I've been fighting in the reentry space is that so many people, and again, I appreciate you being here, and I never tell people that have had reentry world experience that they have to share about their past. But in the reentry field, so many people want you to be a token story. Go talk
Yeah.
to these kids and make them great, but you still got bills to pay and need food on your table as well. And that's one thing that our communities and, like you said, legislation, politics, the government, they need to put money into the people that have walked the walk that can really help alongside
Yes.
us. Like the violence interrupters, all of that is super great, but are they taking
Yeah.
care of the people that are actually in the streets, that are actually so close from having all these back trauma issues come back to surface and everything? And so we are we're doing some work in that area in our town right now, and hopefully October 1st, well, they're supposed to let us know next month that we are going to get some more money into our community to work more on that. So I would love to partner with you more on that. I definitely
Yeah.
don't want that to be a free service. I want it to be some kind of a stipend thing. But you made a comment about you have to keep helping other people. Just remember that just showing up every day to make good decisions is helping other people. Holding
Yeah.
the door for somebody is helping somebody, smiling at somebody. You don't have to go full in all the time, because sometimes you have to step back a little bit to take care of yourself. Make sure you're getting to those counseling appointments. Make sure you're doing something fun, watching silly cat videos, sometimes going to that Dodgers game, doing
Yeah.
stuff that just gets to use other parts of your brain instead of just, I've got to fix everybody. I've got to deal with all this trauma, because you deserve some break time too. And so
Yeah.
I have a couple friends also that said they made deals that if they ever got released from prison, they would never stop helping other people, which is great. But every single one of us, whether we've been to prison, whether we've been somebody on the other side or whatever, we deserve to help more people. It costs $0 to be a caring human. I mean, it can cost money, of course, but just be kind to people. Hold that door open a little longer for a couple more people. Smile at people a little bit more, unless they think you're creepy. That's a whole different story, you know. But
Read the room.
Angel, you read the room, yes, and
Yes.
always read the room on the side of nice, if you can, because some people are hurting so bad. I can only imagine that sometimes you still get judged by your tattoos, or all the things. We all get
Yeah.
judged, whether it's by that weight gain, whether it's by the weight loss, whether it's because we're getting old, we're a woman, we're different colored skins, we have a different religion. That should not stop us from having our voice being in that room. I will never forget your quote that you said about being on the menu, because I always hear about, you get left out and stuff like that. But being on the menu, dude, that's drop knowledge. What is
Yeah.
one other thing that you want to share, or something that you'd like to leave the listeners, give some hope to some people, or to share about yourself before we head out?
Yeah, and like you said, with the National Association of Reentry Professionals, we're trying to move the needle of just making reentry a silo, because substance abuse, community violence intervention, like everything really falls under the umbrella of reentry. Because if you're still doing one of the things, you're still going to end up back in jail. So we're trying to break those silos that we usually tend to start to work in the nonprofit space and all that. And we're just trying to build a nationwide community where, like you said, we could call each other. And what it took for me was to leave Los Angeles for me to be successful. So I've been trying to create a network where I could send somebody to Florida, Kentucky could send me somebody to New Mexico, and give them a little bit better chance of actually succeeding. And the next conference, Jax, I hope I see you there, will be in Austin, Texas next year.
Oh, it's in Texas.
Great
Oh,
food town. Yes, Austin. It'll be in Austin. And
oh,
we're covering mental health, community violence, and substance use, and how that impacts reentry.
oh, I love that so much. I would definitely check more into that, because I would love to see you again. And this time we would be like, hey, we actually really do know each
Hey,
other.
yeah,
Um, I didn't even ask, and David put it up as a comment. Do you have a copy of your book with you that you can show us the cover of it? Otherwise, if you don't, I don't want to make you go search for it. But if not, will you put a link on how we can purchase your book, please? Because, I mean,
yes,
who uses the word hood in a title of a book? Only people that are confident that it's going to make a difference.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and really, like, I'm just trying to destigmatize, or plant a seed of somebody across the country that's been in prison before. Be like, yeah, why not? Why can't I run for politics? Or like, and I I put a blueprint, how to get started, small boards, like community advisory boards, and then just start moving your way up.
I love
Um,
this.
I would have to run all the way upstairs, but I could send you the picture of the book.
Yeah, send
I'll,
it,
I'll
and then I can find it also on how to buy it too, because we want to support you. And I know there's a bunch of people in the audience that are excited to see the book cover and hopefully be able to
yeah,
support you as well. Angel, you are amazing. If you guys are interested in learning more about reentry, check out his book, follow along with him, check out the NARP, and Bill did put a link in there. If you're interested in coming to the conference, make sure we know, because who knows, I might be able to finally go again this year or next year, and it'll be
yes,
in April because that's when reentry month is. Angel,
yes.
you are such a joy to still have alive on this earth. Thank you for not
Thank
giving
you.
up. Thank you for knowing that you have value and that you have purpose, and sharing that with all of us. And if you get on some kind of a campaign, I will try to promote as much as I can from way up in Michigan, especially if you get national. I mean, how cool is that?
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that would be amazing.
Dude, I appreciate you greatly, and I am
Hey, I
so
appreciate
thankful for
it.
you. We're going to connect a little bit more, and I cannot wait
Yes,
to listen to Bill's episode with you either. And keep doing good stuff, but take some breaks for yourself and reach out to me if you ever need another listening ear or two. I got you, okay?
yeah. I'll send you a DMs in a little bit.
Perfect.
All right.
We'll see
Thank
you
you. I
later.
appreciate you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
So you guys thought Angel was going first. He went second, but weren't they both amazing? Like, seriously, that's the joy of hosting a show like this. If you guys don't know what I've been going through the last couple of weeks, my energy has been at the bottom of the barrel, one of the lowest points in my entire life. And yesterday, I never got dressed. I never left outside of my apartment other than to grab the Amazon package that was left outside the door. I did brush my teeth. I drank maybe 6 ounces of water, and I had 3 bites of rice and a half a protein shake. I've had no energy. I've had no drive to really get out of my head. And tonight's show lifted me up. Like, I feel like I'm back to real Jackie. Now, granted, after the show is done, I might go back to being sad and everything. But Bill Rochelle usually has a show right after mine, a wind down. If he has that, I'm going to jump into it in a few minutes. If he doesn't have it, I'm going right to bed. However, tomorrow we're hopeful that Kevin is feeling better. We're hoping that you're feeling better. We're hoping that the world gets to be a better, safer, more peaceful place every single minute of the day. Lately, it has not felt like this. For those of you that are dealing with some of the Canadian smoke and the horrendous fires up there, I've got your hearts. We've had the smoke down in my town for quite some time. Those of you that have a loved one that's ill, or you yourself that are ill, you that are watching too much news and it's just icky stuff all the time, please take care of yourself. Find a way that works for you to get through the ick so you can get to the good stuff. Okay, whether it is reading other people's books, whether it's surrounding yourself with good people, you deserve to be in a good headspace. Go to counseling, reach out to people, whatever works for you. And remember, if your relationships are struggling, that is one of my areas of specialty, whether it's because somebody's been out of the community for a while, military or incarceration, whether it's because you're just growing in different capacities. Feel free to reach out to me. That's some of the stuff that I'd love to talk about and work with on people. So I wish you the best. Going to play my outro, and then we're going to have 2 amazing guests next week too. Every single Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Guys, I am booked through the end of September. So if you're interested in being a guest in October, reach out to me. I'd love to get to know you and get you on stage so other people can see you. You guys take care. Take care. And I mean that for real. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose Just Jacks and Guests. Jackie Hallberg has left the building. The category is prison reform. Prison reform. The category is diversity. The category is women's rights. Thank you for joining. We appreciate your company. Thank you for coming through. Just Jacks and Guests. The category is equal rights.
Equal rights.
The category is inclusivity.
Inclusivity.
Inclusivity. The category is second chances.
Second chances.
We appreciate your company. And the category is just Jacks and Guess. Just Jacks and Guess. Thank you for coming through. We appreciate your company. Just Thank you for joining us today.